As INFJs, we have the hardest time with our motivation because we like to over-analyze everything and we like to feel as if we know everything. We have to plan everything out down to a T and have all the steps in order before we can proceed to get on with the necessary task or project. I only seem to get myself motivated by becoming sick of procrastinating and not getting things done and just hating that unproductive feeling. Is this sick feeling that makes me productive, and ultimately becoming so annoyed with myself that I have to force myself and push myself into action. And also there have been plenty of other situations where I completely burn myself out in the planning stages, or I can talk myself out of something. So I'll sit down and I'll think, oh, this is a great idea. I'm going to do this, that. And then when I start to investigate the why, the how, the when, the if, I talk myself right out of that thing, and all of a sudden I'm like, nope, this is not a good idea. I'm not doing that anymore. In this video, I'm going to share with you my top 6 INFJ self-motivation techniques for reaching your goals. Let's dive in. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shamiso Miranda, and this channel is all things INFJ, personal growth and lifestyle design. Stay tuned for some tips, tricks, hacks and tools on overcoming adversity to fulfill your potential and become the best you. Also, if you'd like to learn how you could use life's adversities to your advantage, do consider subscribing to my channel and hit the bell icon next to it. Let's dive in. I'm sure that most of us can agree that we get ourselves into motivational slumps, and we actively have to look for ways to work to get ourselves out of the situation and back on the productivity route. For INFJ, self-motivation is that we have to start with the end in mind and reverse engineer the process. So what I mean by that is, when you want to embark on a project, you first have to determine your desired outcomes. What would you like to see at the end of that project? How are you going to measure success? So for example, if you want to undertake an undergraduate degree, starting with the end in mind would be focusing on what type of job that you can get and the subjects that you need to study for that job, so that you don't go through the whole process having studied the wrong subjects, and the subjects that you have studied are not the subjects that you need to get you into the career that you would like. So those are the benefits of starting with the end in mind. And for INFJs, this comes easily because INFJs are generally long-range thinkers, and we like to think about the future. We like to think and plan ahead. INFJs are professional planners, and this is an advantage and also a disadvantage at the same time, because when you spend too much time thinking and planning and all that good stuff, it can actually demotivate you, because you just need to think of, I need to do this, and these are the desired outcomes that I want to achieve from this, and then we have to put that straight into action, not spend too much time over analyzing, overthinking and over planning. One of the best ways that I have found to incorporate starting with the end in mind into my daily lives is by having a personal mission statement. A personal mission statement focuses on your future, your goals. What do you want to achieve? What's important to you? How can you achieve what it is that you want to achieve? It focuses on what you want to become, who you want to become, and so that you have a clear picture of who you want to become and what you want to become, so that it's easier to take the necessary steps going forward to put you on the path of becoming the best you and achieving whatever it is that you would like to achieve. By completing a personal mission statement, you are completely stopping and getting rid of the INFJ's introverted intuition, which, as I mentioned earlier, it eliminates the INFJ from over planning, overthinking, and ultimately leading to procrastination. So once you have identified what it is that you want to become and the necessary steps that you're going to have to take to get there, you have to write that down on paper so that when you are demotivated on your down days, you have something to go back to as a reminder to help you to focus. And as an INFJ myself, another thing that sometimes used to get me in this stage is perfectionism. I like everything to be perfect, perfect, perfect. I like everything to be in order. I like all my I's dotted and the T's crossed. So this will waste so much time when I'm trying to make sure that everything is perfect. And now I've gotten myself to the point where I like to start before I'm ready, because this helps me to eliminate the need for perfectionism, because we all know that perfectionism doesn't actually exist. There is no such thing as perfection, and progress is so much better than perfection, because at least when you take a little step, it doesn't matter how little of a step that you take, every little steps will add up to the bigger steps. As long as you are taking small steps every single day, you are progressing towards your set goals. So if you are interested in completing your personal mission statement, I have put my personal mission statement down in the description below. Go ahead and check it out. I have a free download for you so that you can start to think about what it is that you want and have that written down on paper. It will serve you as motivation and a focal point and reminder during the down days. So the second top tip, moving on from the first, starting with the end in mind. So we're now, after starting with the end in mind, you know exactly what it is that you need to achieve. So the next step is to create a master plan. You have to list out all the steps that you're going to have to go through to get yourself to the end result that we identified in the first tip. So when you're creating your action plan, I like to use SMART goals. And SMART goals are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. So for example, if I wanted to go to grad medicine school and become a doctor, that is something so specific. I would like to be a general practitioner is something specific. Something measurable would be the length of the course, the length of the time that you're going to have to spend studying to achieve your end result. So medical school, I don't even know how long it takes, but it's like 4 years to 6 years, something like that. And also something specific is the specific subjects that you're going to have and the specific grades that you're going to need to have to embark on that journey. Something achievable is the fact that you can identify people in your community that have achieved the thing that you want to achieve, and you can use them as mentors. You can go to them for advice, ask them what was the pit of their process and what was the peak of their process to becoming a doctor. So they can help you because they are a tangible person and they are your proof that what you want to do is achievable, because they have gone before you and gone realistic. So you have to set yourself realistic goals. In the medical school example, something realistic, if you know that the subjects that they required to be a doctor are not your strongest points, that might not be something realistic that you can achieve. So it's better to pick what you can do naturally, what comes easiest to you, as opposed to trying to force yourself to become something that you're not designed to be. And lastly, the T for timely from the SMART goals framework is that it has to have a set time frame. So as I mentioned just now, the studying to be a doctor, it's 7 years, 5 years, 4 years, whatever the time frame. It has a specific time frame that will take you from the beginning of your course to the end of your course. And you know, in this amount of time, in this amount of years, I'm going to be able to achieve my goals, because that's the specific time, that allocated time for that course. So after setting your SMART goals, you want to ask yourself, why do I want to achieve this goal? Is it because you want to make your family proud? Is it because you want to do it for yourself? Why? What is the reason that's making you want to do it? By identifying the why, it will help to keep you motivated during the down days, because You can always go back to look at, oh, I started this project because of this. This is why I wanted to do it. This is why I want to achieve this. It will remind you and help you to motivate you further anytime that you may feel demotivated. And after the why, you have to ask yourself the what and the how. What, the why, the how go hand in hand with the SMART objectives and creating this master plan to keep yourself on track, focused and motivated. So my third top INFJ self-motivation strategy is to develop time management skills. And this is something that I suffered a lot with, because literally, if you give yourself 3 hours to do a task, it's going to take you 3 hours. If you give yourself 30 minutes to complete the same task, it's going to take you 30 minutes. And this is something that I learned within the past few years, and it has been absolutely amazing in keeping me productive. You need to look at how you're spending your time. If you're somebody that spends a lot of time in the online space, there are tools like Rescue Time that you can install into your browser, and it will keep track of what it is that you're doing. And after like a week or a few days, you'll get a report listing how you spend your time, where you spend the most time, and all of that good stuff. So if you want to know what it is that you are actually doing, you have to find a way of recording that information so that you can analyze it and find the best ways to boost your productivity and to cut out things that are keeping you unproductive and that may be distracting you. As an INFJ, I tend to procrastinate a lot, and I know that procrastination is something that a lot of people suffer from. So it's not just INFJ, there are a lot of MBTI personality types that have to deal with procrastination. And a way to combat this that I also found is using the Pomodoro technique, which is basically a timer set for 25 minutes for you to get into your workflow, for you to get into a serious deep work for 25 minutes, and then you take a 5-minute break and then you go on. This is so effective as your brain is fully engaged, because you know that you're racing against the clock. You only have 25 minutes to complete that thing. So you're gonna really focus and get into the task at hand. So right before we get into my next top self-motivation technique for INFJs, I want you in the comments below to let me know how you get yourself motivated. Let's share, let's talk about it. I would love to hear from you. Don't forget to grab your free personal mission statement worksheet. It will help you to start to think about and plan and write down. It's a great worksheet if you are ready to take the next step in your career, in your business, in your life. Now go and watch this playlist for more on all things INFJ, and I'll see you in my next one as we continue our journey towards a more wholesome, healthier, and more meaningful lifestyle.